I should have known something was wrong when Anna started crying at the dinner table. Not real crying, the kind where actual tears fall and your face gets blotchy and ugly. No, this was Anna's special talent. The delicate shoulder shake, the graceful hand covering her trembling lips, the single crystalline tear that somehow caught the light perfectly. Our parents rushed to her side immediately, asking what was wrong, if someone had hurt her, if she needed anything. I kept eating my rice. I feel so guilty, Anna whispered, her voice breaking in all the right places. There are people out there with nothing, and here we are with so much. How can I enjoy this meal knowing someone is starving? Mom stroked her hair. Dad squeezed her hand. They told her she had such a beautiful heart, that her compassion made them proud. I wanted to remind them that so much included the $300,000 house and $40,000 car they'd bought her with their entire retirement savings. But I didn't. I never did. Because Anna was fragile, and I was the strong one, and that was just how our family worked. It had always been that way. The pattern started in high school. Anna was the pretty one, the sweet one, the one everyone loved. She had this way of tilting her head when she talked, like everything you said was the most fascinating thing she'd ever heard. Boys orbited her like planets around the sun. Girls wanted to be her friend. Teachers praised her gentle nature. And me? I was the angry one, the difficult one, the one who caused problems. The truth was more complicated, but no one wanted to hear it. It started with small things. A group of girls would corner me in the bathroom, commenting on my clothes, my hair, the way I walked. They'd laugh when I tried to push past them. They'd spread rumors about me, that I was violent, that I had a temper, that I was jealous of my prettier, sweeter sister. Anna knew. She saw it happen, but she never said a word. "Why didn't you help me?" I asked her once after a particularly bad day where someone had shoved me into a locker. She looked at me with those wide, innocent eyes. I didn't want to make it worse. You know how people are? If I got involved, they might think I was taking sides. You should take sides. I'm your sister. But they're my friends too, she said softly. And you have to admit, you can be a bit intense sometimes. Maybe if you were more like me, people would be nicer to you. I stared at her. You mean if I let people walk all over me? That's not what I said. Her voice was so calm, so reasonable. I just think you could be softer, more understanding. The bullying got worse. Someone spread a rumor that I'd threatened another student. The school called our parents in. Anna came too, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. I'm so worried about my sister, she told the principal. She's been under so much stress. I think she just doesn't know how to handle her emotions. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell them that Anna had watched the whole thing, had seen the other girl shove me first, had heard the insults. But when I tried to speak, I sounded angry and defensive. Anna just sounded concerned. Then came the one time Anna actually fought back. A girl named Jessica had been targeting me for months. She'd mock my clothes, my grades, everything. One day she went too far and made a comment about our mother. Before I could react, Anna stepped forward. That's enough, she said, her voice sharp. Jessica laughed. What are you going to do about it, princess? And Anna, sweet, gentle Anna, slapped her. The school suspended them both. Our parents were mortified. Anna cried for hours, saying she'd ruined her reputation, that everyone would think she was violent like me. The next day, she pulled me aside. This is your fault, she said quietly. People only bothered me because they see me with you. Jessica was actually my friend before all this. She was nice to me because I'm pretty and kind. But you made her think I'm just like you, hot-tempered and aggressive. She was bullying me for months, Anna. And I defended you, and look what happened. I got suspended. Do you know how that looks on my record? I felt something crack inside me that day, but I pushed it down. I always did. After high school, things should have gotten better. But Anna's need for validation only grew stronger. She started an Instagram account focused on authentic living and finding beauty in simplicity. She posted photos of herself in flowing white dresses, holding coffee cups, staring pensively into the distance. Her captions were full of inspirational quotes about kindness, gratitude, and inner peace. Her follower count grew. Brands started reaching out. She became a micro-influencer. Meanwhile, I got a job in IT. Nothing glamorous, but it paid well. I helped our parents with bills. I fixed things around their house. I was the practical one, the one who got things done. Our parents worried about Anna. She's too pure for this world, Mom would say. Too trusting, too kind. What if someone takes advantage of her? She's 25, I pointed out. She needs to learn to take care of herself. You don't understand, Dad said. Anna isn't like you. She needs more support. So they decided to give her that support. They sat me down one evening and explained their plan. We're going to buy Anna a house, Dad said. Something small but nice. And a car so she can get around safely. I did the math in my head. That's going to cost everything you've saved for retirement. We have enough, Mom said quickly. And Anna needs stability. Once she has her own place, she can focus on building her career. Her career posting photos on Instagram? She's building a brand, Dad said defensively. She's helping people with her positive messages. I wanted to argue. I wanted to tell them this was insane, that Anna was a grown woman who should be responsible for herself, that they were enabling someone who'd spent her entire life collecting admiration instead of actually contributing anything. But I saw the determination in their eyes. They'd already decided. Okay, I said. If that's what you want. Anna cried when they told her. Beautiful photogenic tears that she immediately posted about. Blessed beyond measure, the caption read. My parents are angels on earth. The comments poured in. You deserve it. Your family is so loving. This is what real support looks like. I moved into a smaller apartment to save money. Someone needed to be responsible for Mom and Dad's future, and apparently that someone was me. 3 years passed. Anna's follower count grew. She collaborated with small brands, did sponsored posts, attended influencer events. She posted constantly about gratitude, about being blessed, about finding joy in simple things. From the house she didn't pay for, with the car she didn't earn. Our parents beamed with pride. See, Mom said, we knew Anna just needed a chance to flourish. Then, on a Tuesday afternoon, I got a call from Dad. We need to talk, he said. His voice sounded strange. Can you come over? I found them sitting at the kitchen table, looking pale. Anna was there too, serene as always in a cream-colored sweater, her hair in a perfect braid. What's going on? I asked. Dad slid some papers across the table, real estate documents, a car title transfer. Anna sold the house, he said quietly. And the car. I looked at Anna. She met my eyes with that same calm expression, that same gentle smile. I donated the money to charity, she said softly. All of it. The words didn't make sense at first. I read them again, scanned the documents. Nearly $350,000? Gone. You what? There are so many people suffering in the world, Anna explained, her voice patient like she was talking to a child. When I thought about keeping all that luxury for myself while children are starving, while families are homeless, I couldn't live with myself. That wasn't your money to donate, I said. My voice sounded distant to my own ears. Mom and Dad gave up everything for that house. They gave it to me, Anna corrected gently, which means it was mine to do with as I chose. And I chose compassion over materialism. I turned to our parents. Did you know about this? Mom's eyes were red. Dad just shook his head. I wanted to tell you, Anna said, but I knew you wouldn't understand. You're so focused on money and security, you don't see the bigger picture. The bigger picture? I repeated. Mom and Dad have no retirement savings. They gave you everything and you just gave it away to strangers? Not strangers, people in need. Anna's expression remained serene. And honestly, I think you're being a bit narrow-minded about this. There are people out there who are truly suffering. Who are we to hoard resources when we could help? We? The word came out sharp. You didn't give away anything that was yours. You gave away Mom and Dad's future. I gave away material possessions in exchange for making a real difference in people's lives. She reached out and touched my hand. I know this is hard for you to understand. You've always been more worldly than me, but sometimes we have to sacrifice comfort for conscience. I pulled my hand away. Where are you living now? I found a small apartment. Very affordable. I'm embracing a simpler lifestyle. And how are you paying for it? I have some income from my social media, and I'm working with several charities now. They've asked me to be a spokesperson since they saw my commitment to the cause. Of course they had. Anna had documented the entire thing on Instagram. Photos of her signing documents, wiping away tears, writing checks. The captions were masterpieces of performative altruism. I gave up my home to give others hope, one read. Sometimes the greatest gift is the one that costs you everything. Her followers had gone wild. The post had been shared thousands of times. News outlets had picked up the story. Young woman donates entire inheritance to charity, the headlines read. Anna was more famous than ever, and our parents were drowning. The next few months were brutal. Mom and Dad's mortgage was coming due, and they didn't have the money to pay it. Their car needed repairs they couldn't afford. Medical bills piled up. I took on extra freelance work. I canceled subscriptions, cut every expense I could. I paid their bills while they sat in stunned silence, trying to process what had happened. Anna, meanwhile, was on a speaking tour. She gave talks at universities about ethical consumption. She appeared on podcasts discussing the importance of radical generosity. She wrote blog posts about how freeing it felt to release attachment to material goods. She never mentioned that the material goods belonged to someone else. I tried to talk to her once. I drove to her apartment, small but trendy, in a neighborhood full of organic markets and yoga studios, and knocked on her door. She answered in yoga pants and an oversized sweater, looking effortlessly beautiful. "Oh, hi, what a nice surprise. We need to talk about Mom and Dad. Come in, come in." She gestured to a minimalist space with plants and white furniture. "Want some tea? I've been drinking this amazing herbal blend." "I don't want tea. I want you to understand what you've done." She tilted her head. "I think I understand perfectly. I made a choice that you disagree with, but that doesn't make it wrong. Mom and Dad are struggling. They might lose their house." "That's terrible," she said, and she sounded genuinely sympathetic. "But that's not really my responsibility, is it? They're adults. They made choices too." "They made choices to support you, and I'm grateful for that. But I've chosen to pay that forward by helping others instead of hoarding resources." She sat down gracefully. "Look, I know you're upset, but you have to understand. I'm trying to make a real impact in the world. The work I'm doing now, the people I'm helping, it's so much bigger than one family's comfort. Those people needed your help. Your actual family needs your help. And I'm sure they have you," Anna said with a soft smile. "You've always been the strong one, the capable one. You can handle this. But those children I helped, they had no one. I couldn't ignore that just to maintain some comfortable lifestyle I didn't even earn." "You didn't earn any of it," I said. "That's the point." Her smile didn't waver. "I think you should go. You're upset, and I understand that, but I'm not going to apologize for following my conscience." As I left, I saw her phone light up with notifications. More comments, more likes, more praise from strangers who thought she was a saint. That's when I finally understood. Anna didn't care about helping people. She cared about being seen as someone who helped people. The admiration, the validation, the constant stream of strangers telling her how wonderful she was, that's what she'd traded our parents' security for. And I was done protecting her from the truth. I spent 2 weeks gathering everything, every receipt, every document, every screenshot. I built a timeline: the house purchase, the car, the dates Anna sold them, the charities she donated to. Then I looked deeper. I contacted the charities. Most of them confirmed they'd received donations, though the amounts Anna had posted online were exaggerated. One charity had never heard of her. Another said she'd donated $5,000 but claimed it was $20,000 online. I found screenshots of deleted posts where Anna had mentioned our parents' financial situation before the donation, when she was still living in the house they'd bought her. Posts complaining about property taxes, about car maintenance, about how expensive homeownership was. I compiled everything into a single document, then I created a blog post. Not on my own accounts. I barely used social media. I created a new one specifically for this purpose. I titled it, The Real Story Behind the Generous Daughter. I laid out the facts, our parents' sacrifice, Anna's choices, the discrepancies in her donation amounts, the timing of everything, how she'd waited until her following was large enough that the publicity would be worth it. I included screenshots of her old posts about the burden of homeownership, screenshots of her new posts about choosing poverty, the math showing that our parents' entire retirement savings had gone into those properties. And then I asked a simple question. Is it really generosity when you're giving away someone else's sacrifice? I posted it at 2 a.m. on a Thursday. Then I went to bed. By morning, it had been shared 300 times. By afternoon, 5,000. By evening, it was everywhere. The response was immediate and brutal. Anna's comment section, usually filled with praise, turned into a war zone. You destroyed your parents' retirement for clout? This is disgusting. Fake charity queen. You didn't give up anything. You gave away someone else's security. News outlets that had celebrated her began posting follow-up pieces. Questions raised about viral donor's story. Did Instagram influencer donate her parents' money? Anna tried to respond. She posted a tearful video explaining that she'd had permission, that it was her legal right, that people were twisting the narrative. But people had already decided. The court of public opinion was swift and merciless. Her followers didn't leave all at once. They peeled away gradually, each departure marked by disappointed comments. I thought you were genuine. This isn't what I signed up for. Unfollow. Brands dropped her. Speaking engagements were canceled. The charities distanced themselves from her. No one wanted to be associated with someone accused of performative giving at others' expense. I watched it all happen from a distance. I didn't comment, didn't engage, didn't add fuel to the fire. I didn't need to. The truth had its own momentum. Anna called me once, 3 weeks after the post went viral. How could you? Her voice was shaking, but this time it wasn't the pretty photogenic kind of upset. This was real. Raw. You destroyed everything I built. I didn't destroy anything, I said calmly. I just told people the truth. You made me look terrible? I made you look exactly like what you are. I was trying to help people. She was crying now, actual tears, the kind that made her voice ugly and thick. I was trying to make a difference. No, I said. You were trying to be worshipped. There's a difference. You're so bitter, she sobbed. You've always been jealous of me, and now you've ruined my life because you couldn't stand that people loved me. People loved an image, I corrected. An image you carefully constructed. I just showed them what was behind it. I hate you. I know, I said. But you'll live. She hung up. 6 months later, Anna was working at a coffee shop, not as an influencer collaboration or a sponsored post. Actually working, taking orders, making lattes, cleaning tables. Her Instagram was mostly dormant, occasional posts with dozens of likes instead of thousands. She'd lost the trendy apartment. She lived in a studio in a less fashionable neighborhood. No more speaking tours, no more charity galas, no more photographers following her around. Our parents, meanwhile, had moved in with me. They'd had to sell their house. There was no other choice. But with my income and theirs combined, we were stable, comfortable even. They'd apologized to me, over and over. We should have seen it, Mom said. We should have realized what she was doing. You wanted to believe the best of her, I said. That's not a crime. But we neglected you, Dad added. We took you for granted because you were strong. I am strong, I said. And I don't mind taking care of you. That's what family does. They'd tried to reach out to Anna a few times, but she'd refused to see them. She blamed them for not defending her online, for not denouncing my post, for choosing me over her. In reality, they'd just stopped enabling her fantasy. I saw Anna once more, by accident. I was leaving a grocery store when I spotted her walking to her car. Not a new car, but an old sedan with a dented bumper. She looked tired, older. Her hair wasn't perfectly styled. She wore a coffee shop uniform under a thin jacket. She saw me too. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then she turned and walked away. I let her go. That night, I sat with Mom and Dad in the living room. We were watching a cooking show, something mindless and comfortable. Mom was knitting. Dad was falling asleep in his chair. This was peace, not the performative, photographed kind that Anna had posted about. Real peace. Boring, quiet, ordinary. Do you think she'll be okay? Mom asked suddenly. Anna, I mean. Eventually, I said. She's learning what the rest of us already knew. That real life isn't about applause. It's about showing up for people even when no one's watching. That's wise, Dad murmured, half asleep. Not really, I said. It's just obvious to anyone who wasn't too busy collecting validation to notice. Mom smiled sadly. I hope she figures it out. She will, I said. Or she won't. Either way, it's not our problem anymore. And it wasn't. Anna had spent her whole life trying to be seen as a saint, trying to collect praise and admiration from strangers. She'd traded everything real for something imaginary, the worship of people who didn't actually know her. In the end, I'd just helped her complete the image she'd worked so hard to build. The saint who gave up everything, who lived simply, who embraced poverty and humility. She'd finally gotten exactly what she'd always preached about: a life stripped of privilege, comfort, and unearned luxury. Maybe she could donate that experience to charity too. I turned back to the TV where someone was making an elaborate dessert. It looked complicated and unnecessary, all sugar architecture and edible flowers. Mom caught my eye and smiled. Too much effort for chocolate cake, she said. Some people like complicated, I replied. But not us. Not anymore. We'd learned the hard way that sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is stop protecting them from the consequences of their own choices. Anna had made hers. Now she got to live with them. And we got to live without her drama, her manipulation, her endless need to be worshipped. It wasn't the ending Anna had imagined when she'd posted those first inspirational captions about sacrifice and generosity. She'd probably pictured herself as a martyr, a beacon of light, someone people would talk about with awe. She'd gotten the attention she wanted, just not the kind she'd hoped for. As for me, I was exactly where I'd always been, taking care of the people who actually mattered, living a real life instead of performing one, finding satisfaction in action rather than applause. Anna had called me bitter, jealous, narrow-minded. Maybe she was right, or maybe I just understood something she never would. That real love isn't pretty or photogenic. It's paying someone else's bills. It's showing up when no one's watching. It's choosing substance over image, even when the image would be so much easier to maintain. The cooking show ended. Dad was fully asleep now, snoring softly. Mom packed up her knitting. Time for bed, she said, kissing my forehead like I was still a child. Thank you for everything, sweetheart. You don't have to thank me, I said. I know, she replied, but I'm going to anyway. After they went to bed, I sat alone in the quiet living room. I thought about Anna in her small apartment, probably scrolling through old photos of her glory days, maybe wondering where it all went wrong. She'd never understand that it went wrong the moment she chose strangers over family. The moment she decided being seen as good was more important than actually being good. But that was her lesson to learn. Mine had been different, that sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is let them fall. Not out of cruelty, but because some people only learn to stand when they finally hit the ground. Anna was hitting the ground now. Hard, repeatedly. And for the first time in her life, no one was rushing to catch her, to praise her resilience, to tell her how brave she was for falling. She was just falling, like everyone else who'd ever made bad choices and run out of people willing to clean up the mess. I turned off the lights and went to bed, leaving Anna to her consequences and me to my peace. In the end, we both got exactly what we'd earned.